Hello everyone and welcome to Stan the Wine Man TV. I am your host, Stan Rattan, and this is the Blue Collar Wine Show, where I try to help you spend your wine dollars wisely. And I had the privilege of interviewing Josh Maloney, the wine director at Wahluke Wine Company, Milbrandt Vineyards. He's a winemaker there. A very, very cool guy. I love hanging out with Josh. He did a good job of the interview. He's a very smart man, great winemaker. And I just wanted to apologize to him right here. I hope you guys watched the video. It's a very good video, listening to Josh talk. But one of the things about doing these videos by yourself, and I should have had a camera person at that event. We were at the fairgrounds. There were a lot of people there. I'm sure I could have got a volunteer. Is I did a close-up of the Maloney 2012 Elephant Mountain Vineyard Cab, and man, the focus was terrible. So I'm going to just do a little tight so you guys can see the label. I feel bad that I didn't get to see that, do that. A great bottle of Cab. Josh gave me a call. I guess he got picked in Seattle Met Magazine. The Elephant Mountain Cab got picked as number 9 or in the top 10 cabs in Washington State. So that's a very nice shout out to Josh for that. Maloney Wine's a little kind of a endeavor of love by him, I guess you could say. He does it because he likes to do it. He's not going to make a bunch of money. He only produced 70 plus cases of this wine. Now the next one coming out is Scootney Flats. Labor of love, that's what I meant. A labor of love for him. But the Cab was excellent. We reviewed it on the, we actually reviewed the Scootney Flats and the Elephant Mountain Cab on the interview. So if you get a chance, check out the interview. I'll put a link up to the Maloney Wine website for you. $65, great bottle of Cab. I've got a couple bottles tucked away for another time to try. I think the Elephant Mountain is really good now, but I think in another 4 to 5 years it'll be excellent. So a little in honor of Josh taking the time to interview me at the fair and coming over to do a wine tasting with me, I am going to review a few Milbrandt wines. And you know, I love Butch Milbrandt. I haven't really gotten close to Jerry, but Butch and Lisa are really nice people. Jerry's brother, they have a ton of property, they grow grapes, and they have a winery. And I really think, honestly, that Milbrandt wines are some of the best values out there on the shelves. So we're going to review these. The first one we're going to do is the Milbrandt Vineyards Brothers Blend 2012. This rolls in, forgot to write the price on these, I'm sorry, but this rolls in, I believe, at about 17 bucks, somewhere in there, really close. I apologize. So this is a blend that they do, and Josh Maloney, of course, is their winemaker. Let's give the glass a rinse. It is still, I'm still going on with Washington Wine Month. I love doing these videos because I love talking about wine, and one of the things I love the most of anything that I do is helping somebody to find a great bottle of wine that is worth the money. So the blend is not on here. Again, I just, let's see if they even mention anything on here. Nope. Pet peeve number 1 of Stan the Wine Man is the winery's not putting the grapes on the back of the label. I don't care what percentages that much myself. I just want to see even the top 3 or 4 grapes on the wine. Why do we like that? Well, as a consumer, that's one of the number 1 questions they ask me when I'm at the store. I'm pulling off, unless I put it to memory, I don't know. You can search around on the web. Sometimes they don't even put it on there. So it's just a pet peeve. Just a little shout out to you, Butch. Put the grapes on the back. Butch, Josh, whoever's responsible for that, please give us some information. Let's see what we get on the nose. Great bouquet. By the way, talk about Washington rarely has a bad vintage. 2012 was one of the more outstanding vintages in Washington State, Oregon, and California. Amazing vintage. A lot of the 12s that I'm tasting now are absolutely fantastic. interesting. Get a little bit of I'm getting a little bit of rubber boot on this one. I'm getting a little bit of I'm getting a plum characteristic coming through. You get a little bit of tobacco. There's some red fruit components coming through. I can't quite put my finger on it. Definitely, I guess more like red, kind of a mix of red and black currants. And a little bit of that red licorice coming through. Let's see what we get on the palate. Very good structure, very seamless on the palate. Has a little spice action going on, which I really like. You get kind of that hit of little white and black pepper coming through. Been dealing with just a tiny bit of allergy problems, so I'm hoping my sense of smell isn't too skewed, but I definitely am getting black plum and currants on the palate big time. This has really polished tannins. In the past they put Syrah on this. I know they have, so they no doubt put Syrah on it this time. But really nice wine. Has a little grip on the back end, which I like. The tobacco comes through big time on the back side. I'm really liking this wine. This is one of those blends that I think this is like an 80%er wine. Another 80% of the people that buy this wine are going to like it. Always like that kind of a target wine where you can say, okay, I know they're going to like this wine because it has smooth tannins, good flavor, good structure, nice fruit, but it's not jammy. It's just really good wine. I'm going to go B+ on that. I think it's a nice effort. I wish I would have had the exact price, but I don't. Let's move on. 2012 Milbrandt Vineyards Traditions. This is their entry-level wines. Merlot, Columbia Valley, Washington. And this rolls in at $15. And one of the biggest challenges I'm having with these videos is since I have nobody in front of me. It was really fun doing it at the fairgrounds because we had an audience of it was over 20 people. It might have been even 30. That was fun. I didn't realize it. We had looked up and there was a big crowd there. It's really fun to have people out there knowing that they're listening right in front of you. So I just kind of have to picture an audience watching on their computer, watching this program, and I really do appreciate the support I'm getting. I think as I keep going forward here, this is episode 233. I think as I'm moving forward, I know that Milbrandt linked up the interview with Josh, so I'm hoping to get more traffic. I really appreciate the 49 subscribers I have. I'd like to see more subscribers, by the way. If you're watching this and you have not subscribed, it's real easy. Just hit the subscribe button below the video. Follow the instructions, and then you are subscribed to Stay on the Wine Man TV. It doesn't mean you have to watch all the videos, although I hope you do. But it does mean that you will get a notification when a video comes out, so you can decide to watch it or not. So let's see what we get on the nose with this 2012 Milbrandt Merlot. Now this has a load of currants, a little bit of blackberry. This has tobacco on it for sure, and a little hint, just a tiny, tiny hint of green, like blackberry leaves. I'm even getting a little black tea, which is quite kind of interesting. And some violets. I'm definitely getting violets on the nose. Let's see what we get on the palate. And you see, $15, and this baby is drinking like a $30 Merlot. I mean, this is a classic example of what you can get from Washington State and Merlot. And, you know, I'll just keep saying it and saying it. Some of the best Merlot in the world comes from Washington State. This is a $15 bottle, and it really comes through. It has good acid, good fruit, good balance. I get the currants. I'm getting a little red cherry on the palate, and I'm getting a lot of tobacco on the back end. And right in the middle is a nice beam of milk chocolate. It's not like sweet, so don't get me mistaken. It's just that flavor of milk chocolate without the sweetness. It's not bitter, but it's nice and smooth and delicious. Good mid-palate. This wine front to back, what I like about it is it finishes fresh. You know, that nice fresh acid, which makes it good for food. So acidity is always a good thing when it comes to food. So this, you know, put this with a steak, hamburgers, pizza, whatever you decide, hot dogs, I don't care what it is, this is going to match up nicely with it. But by itself, man, that chocolate, that balance, those currants, those cherries, they really, really penetrate the palate. And now, this is kind of cool. Right on the back end, very back side, I get a little bit of that greenness, but it's so very minor. It just adds more complexity to this wine. I like that Merlot. I'm going to go B plus, A minus. I'm saying A minus because I think this thing will develop with that fruit and acid combined, will really develop into a nice Merlot. And you're talking $15. I'm talking about laying it down for another year, giving it a try. It is going to, it's not going to go much past 4 years. But right now, I'd say from now, 3 to 4 years from now, it is going to evolve and get better, and it's a great bottle of wine. I really like it. Let's move on. Yeah, good Merlot. Milbrandt Vineyards, The Estates, 2012 Cabernet Sauvignon, Wahluke Slope, Washington. That is where the boys have most of their vineyards. It's on the Wahluke Slope. And this is their estate series. This rolls in at $22. You can get it for $22 to $26. We call it a post-off in the store, in other words, a price reduction. And right now it's rolling in at $22. This is also 2000 and, well, this is 2012, yes. So great vintage in Washington State. A lot of good wines coming out of there. If you're hunting for wines from Washington and you see 2012, grab them. You will probably not be disappointed. So Stelvin closure, they would say twisties, and the Estates has a cork. So this is a little deeper. It's got more. You can tell it's kind of got, you know, it's got muscle on it in the nose. It's kind of scary. Muscle on it. I'm getting a lot of tobacco on this one. Definitely currants. This one's a little more closed than the other two. A lot more closed than the other two. Yeah, let's see what we get on the palate. I'm struggling to get anything out of that. I get a little bit of currants, a little bit of tobacco. Let's see what we get on the palate. Whoa. This baby's wound up tight. This is a killer bottle of Cab. I mean, it is wound up tight. I would say it's not even ready to drink entirely yet. It's good, very spicy, Very spicy on the back end. In fact, there's so much spice, that's what kind of made me cough a little bit. You saw that? That happens when you're trying to, you know, slosh that wine around in your mouth and then you get all that spiciness. Very, very intense cab. Pretty serious tannins. The currants come through big time, right on the back of the mid palate into the finish. This, like I said, it is tight. It is not ready to drink entirely. I would let this sit for 3 years, 2 to 3 years before I really. In fact, I'm gonna buy a couple bottles and tuck them away for 2 to 3 years. Maybe I'll do another episode if I'm still doing this 2 to 3 years from now. But I'm telling you, this is a classic example of a $22 bottle of cab that is going to deliver $60 worth in a couple of years. The tobacco comes through right on the backside. It just has that nice. All the years that I've tasted wine, and for some odd reason, I have this knack for understanding how long they will last. I don't know why. There's nothing scientific about it. I'm not going to say, you know, anything except that for some reason I'm able to do that. I'm glad I'm able to do that. I've been fairly accurate throughout the years. So I appreciate that. The cool thing about the Milbrandt too that I'd like to show you, I think. This has a nice suggestion of, so on the back of the label, on this and the Traditions Merlot, I'll just show you, get close up. They give you a little hints on what you can have with the wine. That's kind of cool. Really cool, actually. This one says, with a palate so generous, our estate's Cab Sauv can only be paired with something equally as rich as bacon-wrapped filet mignon by Chef Zach Stone of Luna Restaurant in Spokane, Washington. There must be a little bit of a kickback for doing that. I don't know. Anyway, this cab is intense. It has good fruit. You could drink it now. Certainly you need it with food. It's very, very good. It has very, very good structure, good acid, good fruit, good balance. It's a great bottle of wine, but I would suggest you buy one and put it away. Buy a couple, put them away. See how it evolves, because it's going to turn into a beauty. I'm getting a lot of red flowers too. A little bit of licorice. It's opening up. The more we talk, it's opening up more and more. So if you're going to drink it now, which is it's really good, decant it. Definitely put this in a decanter. I don't care if you put it in a mason jar. I don't care if you dump a little bit out and shake it, put the cork back in and shake it. Whatever you do, just decant it a little bit. Let it really show its true colors. I'm going to go A on that wine. I think it's an A wine for sure. Thanks for watching. Keep celebrating Washington Wine Month. Support Washington Wine. We're going to move on. The end of the week, we're going to go on to other things, but, you know, it's my home state. I got to show the love for Washington wines, and they certainly deserve it. Remember, wine is not a mystery. It is just fermented grape juice. Drink it, enjoy it, and never ever let anybody tell you what you should or shouldn't like. And if you do that, together we can keep the snob out of wine.